So that's the kids I've got. I mentioned Pete, Matt's husband, and Julia married University of Chicago Law School graduate.
Yeah.
And he just fits right in. And I'll tell you, now it's like 6 of us in there. Just
now you had him walking one time. Was that who he came by the house one time? I was out at my yard, and y'all.
Yeah, during COVID, we were walking up and down.
Yeah.
Over River Road, it's a big hill.
It's a hill for the longest time, and he was sweating. Y'all like, let's go. And he was so glad you stopped to talk to him. I spoke to him. He's like, oh, good.
Right.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, we're, besides, I tell you what, we got the 3 F's we always talk about is faith, finances, and fitness. And he needed a little help in the fitness department, right. And we were right there for him. Diane was like, okay, here's our schedule. We're going to walk every day. We're going to do this. And
I've heard he's made a radical change.
He really has.
Yeah.
He is stronger and leaner than he's ever been, and he's happy about it.
Yeah.
He's happy about it. And, it's just part of being healthy. It's
That's right. Well, it's good when you meet people and that's coming into your family. You made him better, and that's kind of what you do as well. Yeah. You mentioned, we talked about Diane for a minute, but was she raised in Jamaica?
Until the age of 14.
Okay.
And then she came here to New York.
Yeah. And she went to Columbia, right?
She went to Columbia.
Okay.
And it's one of those things. She went to nursing school there.
Mm-hmm.
And nursing is what they call professional school, but was part of an undergraduate system. So she got to get a degree from Columbia in 1984 when they weren't giving degrees to women.
Yeah, wow.
So she's one of the few women to get a degree from Columbia because Columbia had the sister school, Barnard.
Okay.
So most undergraduates women got their degree from Barnard.
Yeah, isn't that wow?
So when you tell somebody, my wife went to Columbia, class of 84, they're like,
yeah.
It's like, that's not possible.
Oh, it is wow. Yeah, very smart, highly strong woman. When I see her, I like her. I just like her personality. I like her spirit. And she's I feel like she's probably the mother that the kids wouldn't run over.
Yes.
And she's probably the wife that you need. We all have our yin and yang, and that makes the best marriage.
She's a yin to my yang.
Yeah.
About it. And she's a taskmaster, and she could help you get something done.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to get it done, don't ask her to help.
Yeah, that's right.
Ask somebody else. Ask me.
That's right.
Like I said, I don't have lemonade and not do the work.
That's right.
If you want to get it done, ask Diane.
And she's she pretty well runs the surgery center. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's runs our practice. She's a nurse, like I mentioned, and she'll even do some nursing. She does have our Botox and fillers, and everybody it's amazing how people go to see Diane, and she'll do the fillers and Botox, and then she'll say, if you go to Vince, if you go to Dr. Naman, he can do a so-and-so and so-and-so on your face, and they'll come see me, and I'll say, I'm thinking about doing this. Well, Miss Diane said, you need to do this, that, and the other. I'm like, okay, well, then we'll do that. So she really knows her stuff.
Yeah, so you're the second opinion then.
Almost,
that's what it is.
But she's got quite the personality. But when raising the kids, it helped to have both of us because I'm sort of like the laid back one, and she's kind of like So when things got to a breaking point, she would just pass them off to me. And
right.
Our oldest was kind of like that. She was just like getting tired of mom riding her over and over. And this girl's like a genius. Like she got like the highest team in Columbus High School, but still. She just had a less serious nature.
Right.
And she and Diane would butt heads, and she'd go, Vince, she's yours.
Yeah.
You take care of her. I said, well, Nat, listen, your mom wants you to go to Ivy League school, have a great education, have a fantastic career, and do anything you want to do. And, really, I'm not like that. I've already got what I need in my life. You can do whatever you want with yours. So, if you want to get the things that your mom thinks you want to get, just do what she says. But it's fine with me if you don't want to do that.
I'd be that way.
Jobs at Wendy's and Burger King. 2 minutes later, she's like, okay, Mom, what do you need me to do?
That's right. That's a smart way to take it, though. Now, how long have you and Diane been married?
We'll celebrate 36 years of marriage this month.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That is, and in this day and time, if you can make it past 10, you're doing good.
Yeah.
And so that's the coolest thing. Now,
we like to joke. We say, well, we've been happily married for 30 years. 30 out of 36 ain't bad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, now let me ask you this. Your faith. We talk about your faith. And I know that you have one. I know that it means a lot to you. You even do something most people don't know. You pray over people, over your patients before the surgeries. But what part does faith play in your life? How important is that to you?
Well, You're right. I have a faith, and my faith is critical. So I wouldn't say I'm like the Bible scholar kind of person. I can tell you that, Jesus said this somewhere. Must have been the New Testament. That's when he showed up, I'm pretty sure. But it's the peace I get from turning things over to God and not spending time worrying about things that God's got taken care of. And so there have been a lot of times when I've stepped out on faith knowing that God's either going to reward it or redirect me.
Yeah.
And so, like you mentioned, praying with patience, it sounds like, that's a good idea. People think you're nice and all that stuff. But it's scary because not everybody wants to be prayed for.
Right.
Some people are going to tell you, you can keep your prayers. And it's out of the ordinary. And it made me self-conscious. But I felt led to do that. I had a mentor from Mayo Clinic who did that with his patients. I felt like I wanted to be like him. And it's given me a great peace. Yeah. And I feel like it's helped patients. And
it does.
I've also had the opportunity to pray with people who are non-believers, who might say, okay, go ahead and pray with me, whatever you think.
Right. That's right.
Let's just do it. And then some of them have come back and said that they've come to faith. I wouldn't say I take responsibility, but it's nice to know that on some level.
That's right. Yeah, you use your gift, and the Holy Spirit do the rest. He just has to have us to open our mouth.
But here's the other thing, is that, I believe in prayer. I believe God hears my prayers and answers them. And so I'm just doing one more thing to help get the best results for my patients. So you can look at it as a very selfish thing. I just want things to work out.
Right.
I know who could help work things out.
Yeah.
Just go work on it. But there have been other decisions, like building my office, like leaving my partners, like bringing people in. And it's just amazing who's been brought into my practice, not just patients, but who works for me, people who've helped my faith, who bring other faith skills, and those who are either young or don't have faith. And I feel like they brought them in to be exposed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, God will bring the ones, you may not know why, but he brings them there. I believe it's that if you honor God, God honors you. And he'll do it even when you're not aware. I've sometimes I remember one time trying to witness to a particular guy, and the whole time I'm trying to lead this guy to the Lord, his wife's sitting over here, and I said, would you like to receive the Lord? I hadn't even talked to her. She said, I would. Yeah, and she's listening away. And I think that God brings people, both believers and unbelievers, by way of you, so that he can get them at least the message or the care or the touch from him. And when they come your way, you're just doing the right thing. I love you. I'm going to care about you, do the best I can for you, and let you know that I've got gifts that were given by God. And you've done it well.
Well, thank you.
All right, well, before you finish this podcast, I want to stop and make sure that you are aware of our monthly BP Leadership Breakfast. That's right, each and every month, Bill Purvis hosts a live leadership lesson in front of hundreds of leaders within the Columbus, Georgia area, and he wants you to join him. So if you have not signed up for any of our upcoming events yet, make sure you go to our website, bpleadership.com, hit the events tab, and sign up for the upcoming date and time of that breakfast. We hope to see you there.
Yeah, I want to say, I thought about this too, as much as we enjoy success, if anything were to fail, I want it to fail in the pursuit of God's will.
Yeah.
And that's peace, that he lost his license, he lost his practice, whatever.
Yeah.
You just say, well, I did that because I did what I felt God would want me to do.
Right.
I was on a mission trip to Mexico, and you get all excited, you're pumped up.
Right.
Then you go to this remote place in the Yucatan Peninsula, or driving down these roads that need plenty of work.
Right.
We're driving down a place where we see like half the road is falling into a ditch, and this little bus, this rickety bus.
Yeah.
And I said, I might just die out here. I might not even make it back. And I said, but what better place to die? What better thing to be doing? There's a lot worse places to die.
That's right. That's right.
I'd love to be St. Peter going, oh yeah, you saw what happened on the mission trip, as opposed to
that's right.
I tripped walking down that bar or something like that.
Yeah, you feel a whole lot better. That's right. Said I was doing something that was worthwhile and meaningful. I know.
So that's why I say I get the peace feeling as though I'm seeking to do God's will.
Yeah. Well, when you read the Bible, you see even Jesus had chose Luke as his disciple, who was a doctor, and there's so much. To me, I always think physicians especially don't realize how much of a ministry they do we think sometimes ministry is only from the pulpit in the church, but the ministry is really in the marketplace. And you've caught that, Vince. That's one thing I've been impressed about is there are a few guys that I know personally that have caught the fact that my coming to church is worshiping and realigning and many times re-energizing, right. But the mission field is out there and my work is there. And you're not one of those people. There's some people that come that I'm just hopping churches and they go from place to place and they're consumers, And
what can the church do for me?
That's right. And what y'all did, y'all just kind of came in and said, look, we're going to serve the Lord. And then, when we said, here's opportunities, you stepped in and the reputation you have is outstanding. It really is. People know you and respect you as a highly educated, well-respected Christian doctor in this town. And that's
so sweet. Yeah. I appreciate it.
No, it's true. It's true. I claim you whether you claim me or not.
I do claim you. Yeah. I do. I've not just to play tit for tat, but listen, Cascade Hills has been a great church for us, and so many opportunities to serve and to do the same type of thing that I'm doing through Christian Union and through my vocation is to bring people to Christ. Yeah. To make it accessible and not to make this a private club and say, oh, you didn't do the right thing to get through this door. You're not the right kind of person. Mm-hmm. When I came here and I saw the folks in the black jackets and motorcycles, I said, this is my kind of church.
That's right. Yeah. We basically said, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. We did a funeral one time, believe it or not, that there was a lady who was a nightclub dancer or something like that, and she was killed. And her family was a wonderful family up in north. And so they wanted her to have a funeral at a church. And they went through like 7 or 8 churches and nobody would do it. They would say, we're not going to do it. And finally they went somewhere, somebody on the street or a hotel room or whatever said, go to Cascade Hills. And they got a hold of us and we said, sure. And here's what's interesting. I did the funeral. Didn't know them, but I did the funeral. The parents sitting in the front row. But the whole room just about was filled with all of the people she'd worked with through the years. And I thought, man, what an opportunity to share the gospel. And we loved on those folks. And more people had a better impression of Christ that day that were in that pew than they would have ever had if they hadn't had that experience. And so you've got the heart for the people like that in care, and Cascade's been one of those like that. Our hope is that even the church, that we will be a small picture of what heaven should look like. We say, I want people that worship all different ways. I want people that are of all different nationalities. We have a Japanese lady that comes, and she sits through every service, or sits through the whole service when she's here, nods her head and listens, sometimes cries, smiles. She can't speak a word of English, and yet she comes. And so her neighbor says, she's asked her, why do you come? She said, I feel loved. And I thought, isn't that something? And doesn't even know what I can say.
Not with words, but just with the Spirit.
They feel that. That's right. And so that's what the church ought to be. But Vince, I want you to know, as a friend, you've been the best. We don't get together as much, but I love you and thank God for you. And never have a thought about you. I don't just think, man, I'm so honored that you're my friend.
I've enjoyed our friendship, and that was part of the fun of coming on this podcast. Sit down and
I know.
For an hour, so.
Well, I put you in my book. Yeah, I thought it was funny. I put you in my book as one of the most humble men, having the credentials and the education you have, the experience you have. And I said, he's one of the most humble men. And you told me, you said, I'm going to buy a couple of copies, underline that, and send them to friends.
Look how humble I am. Framed it, got it on my wall.
Reminds me of the guy, he said he went to church. They gave him a humble pen, said, we're going to give this to you for you're the most humble man we meet. And then they took it away because he wore it.
He wore it. That's right. I appreciate it. It's been a rewarding life. And I've enjoyed you and your family and this church. This church community. And so,
Debbie and I often say there's a verse that says, you have drawn my boundaries in pleasant places. And we often say, Debbie, that could be said of us. I believe that could be said of you and Diane. You drew my boundaries in pleasant places. And that's the thrill of it. I can't wait when the Lord takes us all to home, we're going to get eternity to hang out. And that's to me going to be a lot better.
That's right.
I love you, Vince.
I love you too.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the BP Leadership Podcast. Now, if you enjoyed this episode and all of our other ones, we need you to do a few things for us. We need you to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We need you to like these episodes, comment on these episodes, and share them with a friend. We want the world to see the incredible content that Bill Purvis is consistently pushing out right here on this platform, BP Leadership Podcast. So make sure you do that if you haven't subscribed already, whether that's on YouTube or all of our awesome audio platforms that we're listed on, so that everybody can hear this. So make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you share the BP Leadership Podcast.